Hi everybody, Dana Litwin here again, and welcome back to Tuesday Tips for Leaders of Volunteers. Today, some quick highlights and tips from some recent webinars I've done with the VSysVoices, and specifically to introduce you to a fantastic new tool developed by my VSysVoices friend and colleague, Roseanna Galindo, which is a value analysis spreadsheet. This is absolutely free. I'll give you the link to download it and use it. It comes with a completely blank template example and an example that's a little bit filled in so you know what kind of information to put into it. But this webinar is about the basics of collecting data fundamentals to have effective data storytelling. And I've touched on data storytelling a little bit in my channel before, but just a couple of highlights from this free webinar that'll be happening tomorrow, Wednesday this week. And then I'll put the link of the archived recording and all of the content and materials when that's available in the next little while as well. But if you want to think about impactful and meaningful data collection, you can't collect everything all the time. You want to have a really clear goal and a focus. So going beyond the basics, most leaders of volunteers, the most fundamental piece of data or information that we collect is the number of volunteers and the number of hours. And that's okay. That's an industry standard, but that's really just the beginning of all of this and the beginning of what you want to know to have an impactful data story. So you want to be collecting with purpose, and ideally collecting with purpose is tied into the data will answer a business question. So if you can tie what you're collecting to a business question that helps inform strategy for the organization, or ties into a strategic pillar, or directly ties into solving a problem, that's the most valuable data to collect. You also want to align the data that you're collecting about volunteers and impact and tying it to strategic pillars with either your organization's standard metrics that tie into all of those things, might be key performance indicators, might be goals and milestones of projects, and also with the standards of the industry that you're in. So I'm in the USA most of the time, and the healthcare industry is very, very different from the rest of the world, and it's highly regulated. So if you're in a hospital or hospice organization, then there are metrics like patient experience and age caps that you can tie your data collection into as well to inform that area of study. And the webinar goes into much more detail than I'm going to cover here in these quick Tuesday tips on what metrics to collect and why. We also offer tips on just start small, have a pilot program, have an initiative, check on it in like a 3-month cycle. Plan, do, check, act is something I've talked about before, but you don't have to try to do everything at once. It can feel very overwhelming, especially if you're less tech savvy or not as much of a data wonk as maybe others are. And this is also a project where you can bring in volunteer help who are experts. So you can actually get special project volunteers, people who maybe do data analysis as their college work, graduate work, or as part of their day job. So check in the talent pool of volunteers you currently have if you want to start getting into a data collection project. Now, the free tool that I will put the link in for below is a value analysis spreadsheet. And it really does the work for you. It does the calculations for you. So if you just enter in little bits of information about the program, then you can see, is this something that is working effectively? Is it really adding value to the organization? Or is this something that, yeah, we've had it for a long time and maybe it's just not as effective as it could be or should be? And either do we invest more time and energy to change that, or do we shift focus to a more successful aspect of the work we're doing, or something more meaningful and impactful rather than something the way we've always done it? So again, this is a high level kind of overview. I'll put many more links below. I hope you can join us live for the webinar tomorrow, Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. Pacific with VSysVoices. I'll put the link to register. And if not, then it'll be up and archived on the VSysVoices site, and I'll put that link up as soon as it's ready, maybe in about a week or so. So I hope you enjoy these Tuesday tips. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Please become a subscriber if you're not yet part of the Cool Kids Club, and I hope you have a great rest of the week. Take care. See you next time.